almost all my energy. It's getting hard to talk to you, and I'm the only one who speaks. It's all the things you never show. There are the things I want to know. Secrets start in your heart so slow. But if you don't want to tell me.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Toffee Bluecast. Instant match reaction. Man United 2, Everton 0. I mean, in that song, losing almost all my energy. I think that kind of sums that up with Everton right now. We have to come on live. I can't be asked to recap this tomorrow, so we've got to come on and face the music. Some people will want to probably say how they feel and stuff, so
Vent.
get it in the comments.
Vent,
now.
everyone.
Yeah,
get it out. Get it out.
It's just
Get rid of it.
great, mate.
Then you can enjoy your weekend after that.
Got to get it out of system on this now, which will only be about 15, 20 minutes, and then we'll do one. But that's just so frustrating. Like, I'm a positive person, I am, but we literally gave the game to Man United there on a plate. Like, we gave them a penalty where they didn't even look like scoring. Stupid. And we gave them another penalty where there wasn't a threat again and didn't look like scoring. And to top it off, I think at the start of the game, we were the better team. And I know that sounds stupid, but I'm bored of this now. I'm really bored of this now because we are the better team most games. Man United didn't look like nothing. It was a game that you think to yourself, you're watching it and you think, if Everton are on it here, we're going to win this. Like, you could tell from the start because Man United just didn't look like a Man United team. Like, we was dominating the ball against the Man United team at the start. And I was like, what the heck? We could actually win this. And then all of a sudden, we give a penalty away to make it a massive uphill climb. And then after that, we give another penalty as well. I mean, Paul's got a few things we're going to chuck on the screen. See your comments coming in. Same old shit. I know. I'm not going to be... I'll try and finish not as angry, but it's hard to finish positive after that. Shite. Agree. Sick of waiting for us to turn it around.
Just frustrating. I tell you what, actually, this frustrated me more, and it shouldn't because it's United away. So some people sort of saying free it and all that, but if you don't beat teams around you, then you've got to get something from these games. So, but it just really punched me in the gut this one today because I never at any point felt as though we were going to score. Even the shot with McNeil just before the half finished, I just thought there was nothing in me to think, all right, this is a good chance. I just did not get excited about it at all, and it's because we showed today that we can't shoot now. It's not even that we can't finish a chance; we just can't shoot from anywhere. How many shots went over the bar today? Bloody hell! I tell you what, if it was Six Nations, we'd be laughing, but we could not shoot for toffee.
Even blocked as well. I noticed today a lot of shots was blocked, and that's just shooting at the wrong time. We think about shooting, and then we think, oh, go on, then we'll shoot, and then they respond and they block it. Like the amount of times that McNeil had a shot and it got blocked, just because he's got the ball, he's thinking, shall I shoot? Taps it again. Go on, then I'll have a shot. And the whole world knows that he's going to shoot by the time he shoots. And I don't think McNeil had a bad game, by the way. I just think that generally he was so slow and predictable. It's unreal, and it is draining like that today. Like you said, Paul, it's just you normally in games I can take it if it looks like we're fighting back and we're not giving up. That game you could have played it twice and we still wouldn't have scored. I don't normally want games to end, but I knew we was finished. I just knew we was finished. There was no way we was going to score, and it's worrying now. It is worrying because we are creating a lot of opportunities, but it seems that even though we're creating really good opportunities, these players, they're just not showing it. They're not. You've got to look at... I know we're not doing it attacking, But that doesn't mean that our defenders, Paul, can go and just drop off like they did today. Because that I'm sorry that Tarkowski, when Tarkowski went and put a tackle in on the halfway line, which should have been a yellow card. And I thought, what are you doing, Tarkowski? He just literally smashed someone in the middle of the pitch, which should have been a yellow card. And I thought you could have got a yellow there that you didn't need early on in the game. And then all of a sudden, a couple of minutes later, he caught my eye there, Tarkowski did. I thought, you're looking like a bit of an idiot this game. That was a bit rational, that was. And then literally Tarkowski, a couple of minutes later, does the same thing. I mean, you could have got a yellow. You're stupid. Does the same thing. Goes into Garnacho. Now, you're in the box. You can only jockey in the box. You don't try and make a tackle in the box. I mean, Tarkowski's been playing how long? How long you've been playing? And
he was. I think he was annoyed at
say,
himself. He
some
was
people
annoyed
say,
at himself
Paul,
as well. He was annoyed at
yeah,
himself.
but why
You
is
could
he
tell
doing
straight
that?
away. And I watched it with my dad, and we just looked at each other, and for each of those two fouls.
Laugh, though. What's he laughing for as well? What's he laughing for?
I think he was
funny.
laughing as in just trying to get the referee to think that Garnacho's dived, but both of them were penalties. You just can't. It's just really frustrating because, like they said on commentary as well, United didn't really look like scoring.
They wouldn't have scored if we didn't give them the penalties. They wouldn't have scored.
Apart from the penalties, obviously. But, there was a little bit of a scramble and stuff like that. But Pickford was in decent form today. And I didn't think he would be beaten. Obviously, the penalties are a different story. But just so frustrating. And you could tell passing wasn't great, but we would get through our defensive third with the ball. We would get through the midfield third. And United were poor at attacking, but they weren't poor at defending today or passing the ball. So, there's a little bit. You kind of remember who we were up against. But we would get to that attacking third, and it was almost like Satnav forgot to tell us where we were going to go next. And we were just kind of looking around each other, looking forward, who we're going to give the ball to. And what I said yesterday that I didn't want to happen was that whoever played up front would be isolated. And even though we seem a lot closer to our striker in an away game against United, I still felt as though Beto was isolated. And nothing stuck. Everyone's touch today absolutely stank the place out. They could not touch the ball, not get a good touch on the ball and keep control of it. It was bouncing away, losing possession, things like that. And everything just kept breaking down. And we didn't do ourselves any favours at all. And any crosses that we managed to get into the box, I think I tweeted in the second half, I said, we're only second to Luton in number of crosses this season. So we're second. Luton are miles ahead of everyone else, and we're second. But our crosses aren't actually aimed at anyone. They're literally in zones. You can tell that they just practiced those crosses in. McNeil did loads today. Harrison did a few. Even Young, when Young came on and did 3 or 4 crosses, all of them are just into a zone. We're not actually trying to pick anyone out. And some people say, well, that's okay because whoever's in there should go towards those areas. But if you're up against 4 or 5 United defenders, you've got to, you can't only have, it's going to be in a zone. You've got to pinpoint those crosses a lot better. And we can cross a ball. If we actually look up and aim for a particular person, we can pick that person out. But we're not doing that. And we're crossing it from deep and it's just in the zones. And we're thinking, it's all right, Tarks will win the header or Onana will win a header. But even if they do, we're not getting that second ball. There was a moment Beto got the ball, the second half. And he had a couple of United defenders around him. And he was facing goal. But at no point did I think he's going to shoot here or he's going to get something. He actually turned around, so he had his back to goal and tried to keep the ball. And then it bobbled off somewhere and United end up breaking away. And it was just frustration after frustration after frustration.
I felt sorry for Beto because he's not been given the ball to score. He's been given the ball to just hold up. The service to Beto today. Beto looked all right. I thought at the start he looked quite. He's holding stuff up, knocking the ball across. Did a switch over to the left. I thought it was a good switch. Didn't really do anything wrong. Just really bad service. Just one of the regulars that we have on in the chat there, Emma. Thoughts are with your dad that's passed away. If we can do anything, we're here for you. Stay strong with that. And our thoughts are with you on that one. So we're just dropping that message on the screen to say we're here for you and stuff like that. Stay strong.
Sorry,
and
Emma.
Everton definitely haven't made you feel any better, but Toffee Bluecast will. So stay strong on that one. Keep your comments coming in. We'll put them on the screen. It's just, well, we talked about it, Paul. We talked about these wingers, and it's just, there's no overlap, there's no cohesion, there's no connection. I mean, Godfrey does not go with Harrison whatsoever. They look like they're playing freaking, I don't know what they're playing. They just don't go together. So Godfrey doesn't go with Harrison. And on the left-hand side, McNeil and Mikalenko don't click. It just seems that they don't want. When you used to get Baines and Pienaar, you had Pienaar that always used to look like he could come in and score if he gets in the box. It doesn't feel like that with our wingers. It doesn't feel like they could actually take players on or be dangerous or anything like that. It just feels like when we get the ball on the wing, I know we talk about this all the time. When say McNeil and Mikalenko are there, they'll continuously pass it back to the left. So even if one ends up in the box, say McNeil ends up in the box, he'll put it back out to Mikalenko because he's going to do nothing in the box, and Mikalenko will try and whip across him. So predictable. It's just the same thing all the time. It feels like the only option is to whip across him, and that you'd think with your, say, Mikalenko and McNeil on the left in dangerous positions, they could work together to actually get the ball past the players, not just cross the ball in. 1-2, 1-2. Let's go. Let's have these defenders on heat. Do you know what I mean? They don't do that. I don't know why. It's just on the wings we just don't look dangerous. I've never wanted Danjuma back so much, and I don't even know whether Dyche will play him. I am going to be a little bit of a bitch here. I'm sorry, but I am. I was massively behind Godfrey, thinking he's doing well, coming back and stuff like that. But now I'm thinking, you know what? After that performance, he isn't the man right back. I'm sorry. And I seen Patterson's face really angry at the start of the game when he was walking in, Patterson, and he looks really frustrated. Patterson does that. He's just not getting a chance. And I would rather sing. I know I said Godfrey. Well, I said Coleman because I didn't want Godfrey there. I wouldn't have minded Patterson, but I just knew we wasn't getting
We both said Coleman. The thing is with
we should be getting Patterson though, shouldn't we, Paul? Like he's the right back.
Yeah, well, Godfrey's half of a fullback that we want, and Young is another half of a fullback that we want, or maybe a third. But they do lack. Young lacks defensive ability. Godfrey lacks going anywhere further than the halfway line. Young can cross the ball. Godfrey can't cross the ball. However, you've got Patterson and you've got Coleman who can defend and can go forward and can cross the ball. Particularly Patterson can get down that line. You know, he's got a bit of pace about him. If you had someone like Harrison and Patterson together in a two, you could see Patterson sort of overlapping and trying to get to the line to cross the ball. And what works then is that if Patterson does an overlap, he can cross with his right foot. Harrison can cross with both feet, but prefers it on his left in some ways. So there's just options there. But if you've got Godfrey, he tries. He absolutely tries. You cannot knock his sort of effort and commitment. However, he cannot cross the ball. And he can just about pass one. So if you want someone just to take someone out, take a winger out of the opposition, to put in a few strong tackles and, you know, sort of be a body in the box, then Godfrey's your man. If you want to actually make more of a transition from defence to attack and try and create some chances from that right-hand side, then you need Patterson or Coleman. Or you just put Young somewhere in the attacking third and every now and then give it to him so he can cross the ball in. You know.
Onto what you're saying, though, there was a couple of times that Godfrey put the ball across the box to just no one, or put it across too early. And if it was, I feel if it was Patterson, he would have found someone. I really do. And I know a lot of people will say, "Oh, why do you think Patterson's good all of a sudden?" But one thing Patterson does do well is knock some nice balls across the box. We have scored a couple when he's done it. He has got the delivery in those positions, and there was a couple of times Godfrey played the ball too early in the play. There was what towards the end there were 6 players in the box, and Godfrey's just smashed it. He's drived it across, and he's just hit it so hard, and no one's going to get on the end of it. And you think to yourself, Godfrey's hit that, not even knowing where the ball's going to go himself. So how can we rely on that to be our goal? Like, you need some proper service, and I feel sorry for Patterson. I do. I really do feel sorry for him because he's come back as the right back, and you'd think when Patterson come, that his only competition would be Coleman. And if Coleman wasn't playing, Patterson should be playing because they're the 2 right backs. Ashley Young isn't really a right back. He was supposed to be like a left back kind of player, but they moved him over to that right back position. He started left back. Godfrey is a centre back. Patterson must be ripping his hair out. I bet he just wants to leave, honestly. I bet he just wants to go out on loan and say, right, I'm sick and tired of getting played around here. I want to play football. I'm a young kid. I want to develop. I want to get better. I've got loads to learn, and I'm not learning nothing sitting on the bench. And I bet you that's literally what Patterson's probably thinking right now, because we've seen it with Branthwaite. We all said, well, not we all, because I like Branthwaite, but Branthwaite, when he first come, a lot of people said he wasn't good enough. He went out on a loan. He went Blackburn first, and they still didn't think he was good enough. Then he got a good loan to PSV. He got a chance to be himself and shine and develop, and he come back as a £70 million player that's one of our best now. So I think Patterson will be no different. I think if Patterson does get that move, Paul, but it's a shame that we can't be that team that actually develops him. That's what frustrates me. Why does he have to go to someone to develop when we're desperately crying out for someone to be good right back? There are questions on Dyche today, I think. There are big questions on Dyche. I didn't like his substitutions, Paul, because I don't know what you think on this. Tell me what you think. For me, I thought Dyche made the substitutions at the right time, about 50th, 60th minute. But for me, I feel the substitution, even at half-time, I probably would have made it because we're 2-0 down. I don't care. So I would have brought Shamiti on for Beto, and I would have brought Calvert-Lewin on for Decore. I would have played with 2 strikers when we're 2-0 down, because we're not that good at passing the ball. I wouldn't have brought Gomez on because I think Gomez, you put him in the middle, it kind of makes things really slow to get the ball up to the top. And I would just bypass the Gomez, not bring him on, and I would have just brought 2 strikers on and said, right, get the ball into them and let's really test these Man United defenders. Because Garner and Onana was okay in the middle. Adding Gomez just kind of put someone else in the space that they didn't need. You've got 3 players in the middle trying to pass the ball and no players up top. So my substitutions would have been, and I would have brought Patterson on as well, Paul. So that would have been my 3 substitutions. I would have made it at half time, with how frustrated I was with that. I literally, at half time, I would have said, right, you've let me down, 2-0 down. I'm going to bring Patterson for Godfrey. Godfrey, that was an awful tackle. I would have took Tarky off if I could, but I won't. But I'll leave him on because he's pivotal. But I would have put Patterson on for Godfrey. You're not going to lose anything by doing that. You're just going to get more of an attacking right back than Godfrey that's got better delivery when we need to come back. Then I would have brought Shamiti on because I feel that he's quite lively and looks like someone that can score. I wouldn't have took Beto off personally, but if Dyche had it that he wanted to take Beto off, I would have took him off and put Calvert-Lewin on with 2 strikers. That's what my substitutions would have been. What do you think, Paul, on that?
Yeah, at least we made some. That was a a pleasant surprise. But when he came on, it was like you said, Calvert-Lewin for Beto, okay, like for like, Gomez for Decore, like-ish for like, and Dobbin for Harrison. We didn't change anything really. I don't think any of them had much of an impact on the game at all. And like you say, Gomez kept the ball, but he's keeping the ball from deeper as well. I didn't think he was affecting the game in their attacking third or anything else. He lines up for a shot every now and then.
Made us more defensive.
That's about it.
Yeah. Made us more defensive.
I mean,
you took Decore off who's an attacking one and put Gomez on in his position. It's when you need to come back to win a game, you're supposed to make yourself more attacking to win the game, Paul. We made ourselves a lot more defensive with those substitutions.
Well, I would have done. I mean, hey, Deitch does know his stuff, and everyone's got their opinions. I would have done something like add DCL and Beto. I would have taken Godfrey off and put James Garner at the right just to start things off. A starting position which didn't include Pickford having to bang it 80 yards every time. And we could start actual attacks from there. You then got Harrison on the right in front of him. You've got two guys to aim for on the edge of their area, certainly causing a lot more hassle because with one striker, it was basically 4 defenders every time around Beto. So he couldn't do much anyway, and neither could DCL after he came on. I just think we needed something different in there to try and create something, and we weren't doing that. We were keeping the ball in the middle, passing it to the full-back, passing it to the centre-back, passing it to Jordan, then goes forward, we lose the ball with a bad touch. And it was just repeat. And so that's why it was demoralising, because you just felt as though you were getting battered every time. You go forward one step and you just get put back. United to get the ball, break away. We'd win it back or they'd be offside. And then we just go again. And that's why it's hard to take. I actually said to me mate, messaging me mate, said, I actually felt like this was the worst performance since Wolves for me.
Oh, yeah. Worst
and that might sound a bit daft because the score's
today?
different and it's United and everything else. But in terms of attitude, I felt that we absolutely lacked it going forward in any respect. And that just reminded me of Wolves when we lost 3-0. And I hope he sorts that out. I hope this 3-week hiatus with not being in a cup or international week. I hope the lads get themselves sorted out. I hope Deitch has a little break as well, and then gives them all hell to pay for when they come back, because we do need to actually win a few games. We can't just go through hoping, the bottom 3 just continually lose and we lose as well. Can you imagine that with about 2 games to go? It's not good.
I could take it. I could take it if Man United looked the absolute dog's bollocks today and the goals they scored was like unstoppable. But honestly, Man United today, they was beatable today. They really was. And when we spoke to the Man United fan in the pre-match, I thought you're not as bad as what you say, but I know they won, but they didn't look that much. They really didn't. The defence looked very fragile if we actually got at the defenders. They tried to pass it out from the back, and if we pressed it right, we could have got a lot of goals from just pressing them out. Onana passing it out from the back. They looked very fragile passing it out from the back. Didn't completely look like they knew what they was doing. In the central midfield, they just didn't look as solid. Like I thought we'd get real crunching tackles from Casemiro and all that lot and McTominay. They was really quiet. I couldn't believe how much we dominated possession. And it's a game that was there for the taking. That's what hurts, that is, because I'm seeing a lot of games where Everton now, and it's becoming boring, and I'm saying, we'll get the look, but they're just passing by now. And if we would have turned up that game, honestly, if we would have turned up, we could have attacked a lot better to win the game. And the goals, Man United, they didn't look like scoring, like Paul said. Pickford looked on it to stop them. The 2 goals was given. Tarkowski did not need to kick him in the box. He was out wide. He wasn't going to score from that position. And Godfrey, they let him walk through like he was Messi. He went past 2-3 players, and then Godfrey decides to take him out when Godfrey knew he was. I don't know.
Just missed time. But Garnacho had gone
stupid though.
Gone around, got past 4 players by the time he got into the area.
Stupid that is from Godfrey. Stupid from Tarkowski as well. Both just stupid. Like. It's not even funny. It's just dopey. All of our fans are there watching, supporting the team. Can't support that. It's common sense. Like, if you get done by quality, fair enough. But those mistakes are on the players. Like, Tarkowski chose to take him out when he didn't need to. He just needed to jock him and push him out wide. Godfrey, he just needed to run with him, Paul. Like, let him get the shot off if that's the case. But make him earn the goal. Make him get the goal. Godfrey just needed to run with him. But he's tried to stop him with a stupid tackle, a stretching tackle at the wrong time. It's on them. It's like it's a mistake that we've made. That Man United didn't do nothing then. They wasn't going to score from those positions, and it's really like you say, Paul. It's a perfect time for a break. I don't normally like a break because we're crap over a break. We go lazy, crap, and it takes us a while to get going again. But when you're this shit before the break, I think you need a break. And today, I thought the manager was poor today. And I thought the players were poor as well. Like I said, I didn't like the substitutions. I mean, Dyche sometimes has just got to think of the fans. The fans have turned up there, and that's a hard game to watch. And Dyche has probably just got to think, you know what? I'm going to give the fans a couple of players they want on. I'm going to put a couple of attackers on and let the fans see what they want. But he made it really defensive and made it even harder to watch. And sometimes Dyche has got to make the right move to save himself and his reputation because fans are out for him. Fans are out for him. His job's at stake. Like he ain't won one in what 11 now, or probably more than that. He's got it. Dyche just sometimes
12,
I know he probably
12.
says, "Oh, I'll do what I want." Yeah, sometimes Dyche has just got to like keep himself in the job because the substitutions just wasn't good. You're 2-0 down against Man United at half time. You've got Calvert-Lewin on the bench. Keep Beto on. He's done nothing wrong. Put Calvert-Lewin up top. We ain't looking like we've got no creativity in midfield. So just kind of long ball bypass it and make the Man United centre-backs work and try and get a couple of knockdowns and stuff like that. It's just common sense for me. Don't know why he didn't do that. Danny brought Gomez.
Yeah.
Let's get comments on. Sorry, the comments there. Danny brought Gomez, DCL, and Dobbin, mate. What are you talking about? It's just not that. I'm sorry, but Gomez is not for Decore, who's just going to sit and pass. Who's he going to pass it to? Who's Gomez going to play up in front of him? Who? Dobbin he brought out wide for Harrison was kind of a similar thing. And DCL for better, which is like for like. You're not doing nothing to change the game for me there, Blues. You generally not. Play two up top, go 4-4-2. The Man United wasn't dominating midfield. They was letting us have possession and sitting back. So why not put an extra man up top? Gomez went really deep with Onana, with Garner. Who was our attacking 10 midfielder then, Blues? Like, who did we have close to the striker then when Decore come off? No one. So I don't rate the substitutions there, Blues. I don't. Go on, Paul. What you got?
I'm just showing what games we've got coming up now. So we don't play again till the 30th, and that's Bournemouth away. God knows. God knows what's going to happen there. We haven't got a great record away at Bournemouth, have we? But I mean, the thing is, you would look at that in between sort of the Newcastle away, the way at Chelsea, the game today, you'd be looking at Bournemouth as being the easier one from those. I think the ones you pick out of there are obviously the two massive ones at home in the middle, at the start and middle of April, the Burnley and Forest. It's the mentality at the moment. We look fragile. They literally do look fragile, the players. They don't seem to be confident going over into the attacking third. We certainly don't look anywhere near confident as soon as we get to a shooting opportunity. But you've got to score. You've got to score to win games. We can't just go through hoping that we don't concede every time. We've got to start getting the first goal. Because what are we? I think it was 12 times this season that we've, or it might be more, that we've conceded first. We've drawn twice, lost the rest. You know, we've got to be a little bit more resilient and stronger than that. Got to be.
Some big games coming up there. Some massive games coming up. We like to be positive on the channel. We didn't really want to come live, to be honest. Paul messaged me. I messaged him and says, "Oh, should we do it?" But I'm not carrying this on till tomorrow, and I don't expect you lot to either. Don't let Everton ruin your day. I know it's hard because they will, because that did hurt. You can't take a dent like that and just shrug it off. But it's just, they are frustrating me now, to be fair. I wasn't that bad last game because I've seen a lot of positives and I thought, you know what, we're creating the chances, but we could have actually won that game when we was 1-0 up with McNeil finished his chance. But then I watch them and they seem to be getting less and less confident attacking. And I'm wanting them to come out more fiery to get goals, and they're coming out and they're looking more and more less confident to score. and I don't know. I don't know what Dyche has got to do, but it's on Dyche. This is what he gets paid for, isn't it? He needs to do something because they don't look like they're going to score. McNeil just didn't look confident to score today. Harrison, I didn't see him that much in the game.
You know what though, McNeil? I did think
Decore tried.
McNeil. I thought McNeil ran his bollocks off. To be honest,
Yeah,
I thought
he was
he
good on the ball.
really worked hard. The work ethic wasn't so much the thing with some of the players, with most of the players, but it was having that guile. There was no. It was look. It was, I tell you what, the look that most of them had when they were on the ball in the United half was the same look that you have some pupils have when they're about to do a test that they don't like the subject or they haven't revised. It's like, oh, what do I do now? And that's exactly what the face is on Harrison, McNeil, Anana, James Garner. They literally looked in front of them and went, I don't know what to do. So they came back. And if we've still had the ball, we'd get in that position again. It'd just be a different one of them looking forward and going, nope, don't know. And then go back again. And we can't keep doing that because the players will just send themselves round the bend. They really will.
No, I agree. It's getting worse. It is, and I don't know. I'd love to. I honestly do think it's about, and I really do think it's Dyche. As much as Dyche hasn't been playing Danjuma, which frustrates me, I think Danjuma needs to come back and get a game because I think he's you just put a new face in there, Paul, that might just come in and score goals. You know what I mean? It hasn't been happening for McNeil or
I think
Harrison.
I think Coleman should be the person that's in there. That lad will drag things out of people. You know, he won't. He's the type of player who's not going to allow us to at this stage of the season in this situation. He's not just going to let us sort of, wander through the game, not really take a chance or anything else. He could drag one or two of them players. I tell you what, it'd certainly get on Harrison's arse and make sure that he produces a little bit more. It's those players that you need, to be honest, to try and drag one or two people out of the mire and out of the doldrums and actually take a chance and make something happen.
Yeah, well, Coleman, we said Coleman, and I don't think when you look at the goals they scored, I think Coleman would have stopped Garnacho. I know it's easy to say, but honestly, when Coleman's come up against some big players, not that Garnacho is a big player, but he was big this game, I tell you. When Coleman's come up against some good wingers, he stopped them. You often say, "Oh, he's too old for this winger," and Coleman stops them. So I would have put the experience in, and I don't think Tarkowski would have been. I think Coleman would have given Tarkowski a bollocking. I really do, and I don't care what anyone says. I think he would have said to Tarkowski because Tarkowski just looked dopey today. You know what I mean? I don't know whether he was like shagged out from frigging last night or something like that, but his brains looked fried, and he just looked. It wasn't his normal. I've never got a problem with Tarkowski. I always rave about him. He's my Spartan centre back, but today his brains were fried. He wasn't himself. He's normally clever. He knows what he's doing. He blocks and he stops and he never dives in like that. It's not a game for Tarkowski to decide to do that because we could have got something today. So I think a lot of players need to look at themselves today because they gave the game away. Godfrey, Tarkowski. Even if we're not doing it attacking wise, Paul, you've got to stay switched on defensively. And I think it was worrying that we know we're not attacking well, but today we also didn't defend well. And that could be a problem because a lot of our draws don't happen if we don't defend well as well. So I'm hoping that they can, after this break, sort that crap out. Right,
well,
there is loads on. If you can hit that long...
So I was just going to say, I don't think we defended well sort of from the front. I think when it came into the likes of Branthwaite and Mikalenko, generally defended well, but we didn't. We were waiting for it to get to that position before we actually started blocking the ball, started forcing them into areas that they didn't want to go into. We just need to be better as a whole unit, to be honest. They need a rod up their arse, and it needs lighting in 3 weeks' time.
They really do. Like, they need to stop feeling sorry for themselves as well because they're getting a chance to play for frigging Everton Football Club, and they need to start frigging relishing it and trying. There's players on the bench as well, so I don't get why they're not. They've got to be playing better if there's competition. I mean, Patterson's waiting to come on. There's players on the bench. I don't know. It's just frustrating. There, yeah, I was going to say there's like 230 people on. There's more if you spread it across all the stuff. If you can hit that like and subscribe. I come off last time. There was 200. There was nearly 300 people on last time, and there was like 18 likes after we'd come off, which we need to get more than that. So if you can hit the link on Twitter and come across and like it, it's appreciated. It takes you 2 seconds. Hit the like. If you can hit the subscribe, we've got to push to 1,000. We're on like 600. So if 200 subscribe now, we'd be on like 800. We'd be near 1,000 already. So hit that subscribe as well. I know you can't be arsed. Trust me, I've been there when I've watched YouTube channels before. But what you've got to realize is that really does help us, and we'll continue to give you good content if you do that, because it puts us around more and gets more people listening, more people in the comments, and it's easier for us to run the channel with loads of subscribers. So, right, Paul.
Yeah,
I'm tired of this game already, mate. We didn't want to come on. Let's put it. You ain't got no more stuff to show, have you? That's about it, isn't it? Let's just do the last word.
Yeah, no, it's
Let's
fine.
do the last words. Let's let you go and have a good day, and me have a good day, and try and forget about this. Even though we probably won't, but we'll make the best of it as we can. We're normally positive and finish on a massive positive, but I'm sorry, we're not deluded. That was disappointing today. There's not a lot of positives in that today, because it was on
draining.
Everton today.
It just felt
draining.
Numb.
Yeah,
just felt numb.
I feel shattered.
Yeah, I just felt emotionally drained. It was like doing a day of training where it's like
Rob has a positive.
All PowerPoint. All PowerPoint for like 6 hours or something. It was just like,
I feel like I had to like. Do you know when you like you paint your house and it becomes really boring, but you've got to finish painting it, and you know you've only done like one coat of the painting, and you look and the coat's not even done anything, and you know you've got to do 3 coats on it because you brought cheap paint, and you think this is just draining. That's literally what Everton was like today for me. It was just like a job where it just took forever and it was never ending. And watching Everton today was never ending. And we will be back positive. We always do. We will bounce back and stuff like that. But we need the players to be better. I don't know, Paul, whether we need to like get to that stadium and start getting the flares out and stuff and putting a bit of pressure on the players, because I don't know, they need the rocket up the arse, like you say. I think they need the fans in the face to say, right, come on, seriously, fucking do it. Get it done for us. I don't know. I think the meet and greets on the coaches need to come back out, because we're in a dangerous position in the league again now. And if the performances are like that, we don't deserve to stay up. We can stay up. We're good enough to stay up. But if we perform like that, we're not. So I think the meet and greets probably need to start again now. I really do. And it's crap. And I know people.
I still think we will. I still think we will stay up. I still think. Yeah,
we'll stay up.
I still think
but
we
I think
will stay up.
They need reminding. I think. Because remember Leicester last season, Paul, we knew we was going to get it was a big chance we could get relegated last season. So we was fighting because we knew we could get relegated. But he's cheered us up. There you go. Supporting the Toffee Blue Cast. There you go. Rob's cheered us up. He's gave a £5 donation to the Toffee Blue Cast. Cheers, Rob. That will go.
But also, I tell you what that's really nice as well, is because Rob's had a hard time this weekend with his lads in hospital and stuff like that. So for him to do that means a lot. Thanks, mate.
Yeah. Shout out to you, mate. We was there for you when your lad wasn't well. But I tell you something, you've had a nightmare. I've been there with my daughter, mate. That is the positive, I suppose. The positive that he donated £5 to the channel, and thanks for that. It's always appreciated, because we do need supporting, because we pay £20 a month at the minute out of our own pocket for the channel. So if we do manage to get bits and bobs, it takes a bit out of the 20. Right. So that is a positive. But another positive is we ain't got a game in a long time. So what I do recommend, and I really do recommend this, is, right, do not think about Everton. Me and Paul and the Toffee Blue Cast people might come on and do your quiz. We might do a quiz, but we're not even thinking about it. The quiz isn't going to be about this Everton now. The quiz is going to be about frigging better times, I'm telling you, because we need a break. We're not talking about anything. The players need a break. The manager needs a break. We need a break. And I tell you something, drain him. Just drain him. But The positive is we are in this together. We're here for you. And you're here for us. Like, generally, we come live for you in the comments to try and make you feel better.
Yeah, Dan, I'm just going to ask a question off anyone as well. And see what
I feel
people
shattered,
would...
man.
No.
Honestly,
I'm not...
I feel shattered. I feel drained just through coming and taking that, talking about that Everton. That's bad, though, isn't it? If just talking about that Everton game makes you feel this drained, then how bad was it? Like, seriously, like, how bad was it? Those players need to fight more for us, because I would fight for our Everton fans, because we deserve it. We've had enough. Come on, players, sort it out. What was you saying then, Paul? What's the question?
The question is, what would you like to see us do over the break? Lulu says she loves the quizzes. Cass said he'll come on and you and him can lose another one.
Yeah, me and him are good together. We're shit together, but we're good. We're like, we're both really crap at quizzes, but we work really well together to try and make us a little bit better, me and Caswell. So yeah, we might get Caswell. We'll cheer you up. We have got some footage of the new stadium that might cheer you up as well. Luke, School of
That'd be
Science,
good.
is going to show you some stuff over there. So we'll get the new stadium on to cheer you up. That
Bit of
always
Diamond
makes you feel a
Dogs.
little bit better, because it's a nice stadium.
Bit
Diamond
of Diamond
Dogs. We'll have a
Dogs.
little bit of a laugh.
We'll get people on, get the beers in, having a laugh together. Yeah, we do one for Emirates.
If we won a game, it boosts us back up. You know, the amount of buzz it gives you just through winning a game. If we would have won today over that international break, we would have been singing like Everton are the best team in the world. They just need to give us a good win. Give us something. Come on, Everton players, feed us something. Feed us something to just recharge. Because at the minute, we haven't had a win in forever. Like, you've got to think of your supporters. Give your supporters something, man. They travelled to Man United. They supported you. They filled the stadium, filled the away section. You've got to give them something, man. They've gone home now after that, and that's just sickening. Seriously. Sort it out. Help us out. Toffee Bluecast will keep boosting you back up. Don't worry. Won't we, Paul?
Always. Everton therapy.
We have to. It's
I'm
our
surprised
job.
I'm surprised we don't have a title for the show. It's just Everton therapy every weekend, usually around this time or at 5 o'clock.
Yeah. I mean, Paul messaged me and he was like, "Are we going live after this one?" And I knew he's like thinking, if you don't want to do it, I won't do it. We was both happy not to do this stream, but we was not coming back to it tomorrow, recapping that performance, because I'm moving on from it. I'm not thinking about the game tomorrow. I probably will, but I don't want to talk about it on the channel again tomorrow. So, yeah, we will get over it. We will move on. Drained today. I feel the same, Lucy Jenkins. I really do. I feel shattered. And as you can probably tell, I'm normally really positive. I'd normally be dancing, putting music on the channel. And it's not doom and gloom, though. It's not over. It's not over. But they do need to give us a bit more to get excited about.
What are you doing with the rest of the weekend? How are you going to switch off from this?
Crying, probably. I'm probably just going to go into it. Probably going to go into an empty room and go into an empty room, Paul, and probably just cry and let it out after that, mate. You know what I mean?
I'm bang your head on that.
I'm going to go to the top of the mountains where I live. No, well, I'm going to go to the top of the mountains. I'm going to shout, "Tarkowski, I hate you, you warm-bred idiot." And I'm going to say, "Ben Godfrey, I started getting behind you again at the top of the mountains, and you just completely let me down after I got behind you for your second chance." So I don't know what I'm going to do, but we always get back up. We're Evertonians, isn't it? It ain't about how hard you get hit. It's about how much you can take and keep moving forward. It's about how much you can get hit and keep moving forward. And I tell you something, we're used to getting hit as Everton fans, so we always get back up. We feel sorry for ourselves. We've got the right to feel sorry for ourselves. Going to slide tackle a pumpkin. I don't think he even deserves that after that. Don't think he deserves it. At least I got the contact on the pumpkin, the Blues. I love the Blues, to be fair. Even though he goes against my opinions and he actually thinks the substitutions wasn't that bad. But you love these comments, don't you?
Wish we would have
I've seen a bit of Damari Gray around.
I think Tazul's been watching highlights of when we drew, and Townsend tried to do a Sui celebration.
Do you know what it is, though? I do get it, because Garnacho today just ran at us. All he did was run at us, and it caused so many problems. Just running at you to try and take a player on caused so many problems. And Damari Gray was a player that sometimes not clinical, not good, not inconsistent, but he did run at players. Damari Gray did, didn't he? He would run, drive, and put Man United players under threat. And that's one thing he would do, is always try and take the player on. Always try and take the player on. Where today, Harrison didn't take no one on. McNeil, really good on the ball, worked hard, but didn't take no one on. Don't think no one took no one on, did the Paul? So that's probably why he's missing him.
We don't do it
now.
Very
he's
often.
Really depressed. Now Tansel's really depressed. Now, bloody hell, he wants Townsend back as well. Oh, and I guess that's why they call it the Blues.
Yeah.
Right, everybody, we are going anyway. We're not stopping on this. I'm dropping the banner. No. We are going. I'm going to let Paul go and enjoy his night with his family. I'm going to try and enjoy mine with my family. I'm sure I will. Forget about Everton. It's always better. Thanks, Rob, for that. It's always appreciated if anybody can do that. If you can't, don't do it. Don't worry about it. We're not bothered, but it just supports the channel. Otherwise, it comes out of our own pocket. We pay £20 a month, so it just kind of takes it off us a little bit there. Up the top is everyone. We'll be back. We will be back, but it will be with quizzes. We're going to have to build it back up.
Have a few drinks. Have a few drinks. Watch a bit of Ant and Deck. A bit of Gladiators. Don't worry, no football tomorrow, from what I've heard. I don't think there's any games on tomorrow. So go and do something nice. I've got to go to a 60th family gathering. So I'll have beers.
Can you get someone? Can you do me a favour? If you're going to a 60th family gathering, can you get someone to video record you dancing or singing or having fun to cheer people up on the shorts? And I'll put it in one of the shorts. Yeah, that is what Paul. I'm not even going to ask him, because Paul does what I say, because I'm a bad influence. So Paul, if you can get a video at that party of you having a bit of fun, so I can put it as a short, and it'll cheer people up and it'll get us back to being positive.
I'll see what I could do.
Up the top is everyone. Have a boss night. Show goes on, baby.